Hi, second graders, Mrs. Joe here. I'm going to be teaching you about arrays today. This is a little bit of a review because we had already started arrays before we left for spring break. What I'd like to do before we begin our array lesson for today is go ahead and review some of the key vocabulary that we need to understand so that we can learn about arrays today. So first, I'm going to share with you our array anchor chart. All right, what are arrays? Arrays are when you take objects and you put them into equal groups in rows and columns. So what does that mean when things are equal? It means that each group has the same amount, okay? When we're talking about rows and columns, columns go up and down. So here's a column, here's a column, here's a column, here's a column. Rows go side to side, okay? So here's one row, here's another row, and here's another row. Then after we put our objects into equal groups in columns and rows, we're gonna write a repeated addition sentence to match. Okay, so one of the optional repeated addition sentence for this layout would be 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 equals 12. See, 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 is 12. Or we also could have done 4 plus 4 plus 4 equals 12 as our repeated addition sentence because we have 4 donuts plus 4 donuts plus 4 donuts. All right. So now that we've gone ahead and reviewed what an array is, what equal groups are, what columns and rows are, let's go ahead and take a look at what our objective for today is. So I'm going to share my screen with you again. All right. Please feel free to read the objective with me. Objective. I can use tiles to create an array, and I can write a repeated addition sentence to match. Okay, so we're creating arrays today, and we're going to write a repeated addition sentence to match. This is exactly what you'll be asked to do in your problem set during your independent practice. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do I'm going to take 10 tiles and then sort them into 2 equal groups. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. There's a couple different ways we can sort these into equal groups. One really easy way is to sort them one by one. One group, 2 groups. Another one for group 1, another one for group 2. I'm keeping the amount in each group equal by adding 1 at a time to each group. Here's another one for group 1, another one for group 2, another one for group 1, another one for group 2, another one for group 1, and finally another one for group 2. Now that I have my 10 tiles sorted, I'm going to count how many I have in each group to make sure that they are equal. In group 1, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In group 2, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have 5 in group 1 and 5 in group 2. Because there's the same amount, I know that these groups are equal. Now that I have 2 equal groups, I'm going to create an array. First, I'm going to create 2 equal rows. Here's 1 row. Here's 2 rows. 1 row, 2 rows. Now I'm going to take 1 tile at a time and add them into each row. So I have 1, 2 rows, and I can tell just by looking at my array that there's the same amount in each row. When I have 2 rows of 5, my repeated addition sentence would look like this. 5 plus 5 equals 10. Because I have 2 rows of 5. So notice that right here, 2 rows of 5, and down in my repeated addition sentence, I have 2 5s. I just know in my head that 5 plus 5 equals 10, but you also could count the tiles one by one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now I'm going to make 2 columns of 5. 2 columns of 5. So in this array, instead of having 2 rows, I'm going to have 2 columns. 1 column, 2 columns. Now I'm going to add 1 tile into each column until I don't have any tiles left. All right. So now I have 1, 2 columns of 5. Again, I have 2 columns because they're going up and down. 2 columns of 5. My repeated addition sentence is again going to be 5 plus 5 equals 10. Now, my repeated addition sentence didn't change. My number of tiles didn't change. The only thing that changed is my array went from being on its side in 2 rows to standing tall in 2 columns. In both arrays, they were shaped like a rectangle. In both arrays, there were equal groups. So 2 columns of 5 and 2 rows of 5 are really just 2 groups of 5. So the repeated addition sentence is not going to change, okay? I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen with you now. Now that you have watched me using tiles, it's your turn to practice in your problem set. If you do not have your math book with you at home, go ahead and go to the problem set slide, and I have shared the problem sets for the week with you, and you can find the problems there. If you do not have tiles at home, you have a couple different options. You can create your own tiles by drawing squares and cutting them out, or you can just draw tiles onto your problem set page, okay? If you have any questions, go ahead and please join me during our daily virtual learning on Zoom this week. Otherwise, have fun practicing this problem set on your own. I think arrays are a lot of fun, and I hope you have fun with these too. All right, bye, second graders.